Good evening. Welcome to the Mind of STEM channel, where I'm giving you a daily dose of science, technology, engineering, and math. And tonight is going to be no different. In fact, I'm going to talk about another subdiscipline of architecture. So, the title of this video is going to be The Field of Interior Design. Now, we know interior design came from architecture because you had the Victorian period, the Baroque period. But before I actually break some of the topics down within the field of interior design, one must ask, what is interior design and what do interior designers do? Okay, let me break that down for you right now. An interior designer is someone who works with a client to create aesthetic rooms and spaces. Clients range from homeowners to large corporations. The spaces and rooms interior designers create are equally varied, ranging from simple indoor and outdoor home environments to hotel lobbies and lavish mansions. No matter the size, every interior designer works to create spaces that are attractive yet functional. Now, spaces must be safe while meeting the specific needs of the client. Now, an interior designer is typically an independent contractor who must build a client base. In some instances, a designer will work for a larger firm. Now, in either case, he or she must excel in order to build a positive reputation in the industry and secure future work. Now, an interior designer creates indoor spaces that basically utilize furniture placement, color palettes, decorations, functional decor. Interior designers must be artists. Again, they must utilize their creativity to attract their clients, but they must be safe. And of course, the infrastructure that they're working within must be functional also. Now, there are various areas that interior designers can go, like corporate design, because corporate designers create a combination of practical and professional workplaces, and they also try to incorporate elements of a company's brand within their design. They work in a variety of settings, from very small offices and startups to very large corporate buildings. Now, regardless of size, scope of the project, their main focus is on creating a space that is efficient and functional, or functionable. Now, corporate designers also work to create spaces, especially work environments, that contribute to good health and posture for employees. We call that ergonomics, as they would do in industrial engineering. Now, when it comes to work environments in the corporate areas, they basically work with the placement of computers, computer desks, and computer chairs. That's a big focus, as many people use these items for long, extended periods of time. People using them may suffer from unnecessary fatigue, stress, and even energy or injury if the wrong products are used or if they are improperly adjusted or placed. Now, designers will consider the job activity being done, the demands on the user, the equipment being used, its size, shape, and how appropriately it will be for the task. And then they'll design the space with these elements in mind. Now, there's also healthcare design. Basically, healthcare designers plan and renovate physicians' offices, dental offices, hospitals, healthcare centers, clinics, and residential care facilities. These types of designers specialize in evidence-based design, because evidence-based design was first defined as a deliberate attempt to base design decisions on the best available research evidence and that an evidence-based designer together with an informed client makes decisions based on the best available information from research and project evaluations. Having the data and research available helps interior designers plan positive and welcoming spaces for patients, residents, and facilities. Now, here's a big one: kitchen and bath design. Now, kitchen and bath designers discuss all aspects of creating, remodeling, or updating the kitchen and bathroom area of a client's home. They have expert knowledge of cabinets, fixtures, appliances, plumbing, building materials, and electrical solutions for specific rooms. Themes, colors, patterns, and room layout is discussed with the client, which will result in sketches and drawings based on those decisions. Once a project is started, it is the responsibility of the designer to keep all expenses within the client's budget. Then we go into what we call sustainable design. Now, sustainable designers obtain certification in what we call LEED. LEED stands for Leadership in Energy and Environmental Design from the U.S. Green Building Council. This type of certification shows clients' expertise in designing buildings and space with sustainable practices in mind. We call sustainable buildings green buildings. Now, a sustainable designer's main focus is to use products that are sustainable and have low environmental impact to reduce energy consumption and waste, to improve indoor air quality, to improve energy and water efficiency, and to design with efficient use of space in mind. Now, sustainable design projects are also focused on balancing aesthetics and functionally with choices that reduce environmental impact. I shouldn't have said functionally, functionality with choices that reduce environmental impact. Then there's universal design. Universal designers renovate spaces and existing environments in order to make them more accessible. Now, you see some of these designers on HGTV. This is a program that they flip houses. Now, the term universal design was coined by the architect Ronald Mace to describe the context or the concept. Basically, it's the concept of designing all products and the built environment to be aesthetic and usable to the greatest extent possible by everyone, regardless of their age, ability, or status in life. Selwyn Goldsmith, author of Designing for the Disabled 1963 and the pioneer of the concept, he was a pioneer of concept of free access for people with disabilities, created the drop curve, now a standard feature of the built environment. Now, these types of designs are mainly used to create functional areas for the elderly and people with special needs, entryways with no steps, or low floor transit buses that kneel, bringing their front end to the ground level, or are equipped with ramps to help those that have difficulty boarding a bus. These universal designs are not only beneficial for the elderly or for special needs people, but for many others, such as someone pushing a baby stroller. Now, what are the responsibilities of an interior designer? Advertising for new projects, bidding on new projects, sitting with clients to pinpoint project goals, visualizing how spaces will be used, sketching design plans, picking materials and furnishings, placing orders for materials and furnishings, creating project timelines, estimating project cost, overseeing project construction and installation, coordinating with contractors regarding plans and specifications, coordinating with electricians, painters, plumbers, and other professionals, ensuring client is satisfied after their project is complete. Now, you have to understand, to be an interior designer, one must remember that they have distinct personalities. They tend to be artistic individuals, which means they're creative, intuitive, sensitive, articulate, and expressive. They are unstructured, original, non-conforming, and innovative. Some of them are also enterprising, meaning they're adventurous, ambitious, assertive, extroverted, energetic, enthusiastic, confident, and optimistic. Now, what is the workplace of an interior designer like? Well, interior designers need to have flexible work hours and varied work environments. Schedules are often tailored to their clients' needs, and interior designers usually travel to their client's home or business to discuss plans for the design of the space. After initial consultation and a few strategizing sessions, designers visit shops to purchase furniture, artwork, and supplies for creating the desired space. See, most interior designers also rent or own office space with meeting rooms for client and design team interaction, as well as a reception area, office, and design area for creating interior elements. While not necessary for an independent designer, an office gives clients the impression of a professional space. A positive impression can contribute to the overall success in the design business. Now, what is the difference between an interior designer and an interior decorator? Well, we often hear careers interior designer and interior decorator used interchangeably, and admittedly, there are a few similarities between the two. However, there are also more than a few differences, and some of those are fairly significant. Now, an interior designer, whether designing a home or business, an interior designer needs to tap and understand the client's needs and wants in order to create a beautiful yet functional space. Now, an interior designer just doesn't enhance the look of a space, they also enhance the function of it. Interior designers often work closely with architects and constructors, contractors and constructors, because somebody's got to manage the project, to help the ambience. Yes, they have to help attain the ambience and look the client. Let me go back. They want to help attain the ambience and look the client look to see if the client is going to be adhering to code and regulatory requirements. Again, when you deal with any architecture or any engineering, there's building codes. The interior design process follows a specific and systematic methodology, which includes research, analysis, technicality, and creativity. Additionally, having knowledge of and applying these principles of environmental sustainability has become more and more essential to this line of work. Now, in order to be an interior designer, one must go through specific schooling and formal training. And some schools offer 2-year programs. I go to Ivy Tech. They offer a program that's similar to interior design. It's called environmental design. You have contract documents. You have CAD. And there are also 4-year degrees. I know IUPUI, Indiana University, Purdue University has an interior design technology program. I also know Purdue Fort Wayne has an interior design program. Ball State University, Indiana State University, and there's one more out there. Purdue University Lafayette has one as well. Now, I live in Indiana, so I gave you all the Indiana universities. Now, what about an interior decorator? Well, an interior decorator is able to create aesthetic environment for interior spaces by adding furniture and accessories. Now, the National Council for Interior Design Qualifications, that's called NCIDQ, states decoration is the furnishing or adorning of a space with fashionable, beautiful things. Now, interior decorators can take a look at an empty room and see how it can be accessorized with furniture, paint, and artwork. They work with their client and agree on a style that would look best for the space. Existing spaces can be updated or redone completely. They often enlist the help of upholsterers, furniture refinishers, and sewers to make their visions come to life. Now, in order to practice professionally, an interior decorator does not need a license and is not required to have any formal training or schooling. Therefore, they are not permitted to design, as only licensed interior decorators having a license are permitted to do so. An easy way to remember this is that interior designers can both design and decorate, but interior decorators can only decorate. Now, even though no formal education is required as an interior decorator, there are courses, programs, and certifications available for those who want to expand their horizons and learn the latest in color and fabric choices, furniture styles, space planning, and room layouts. Certifications from organizations like CID, Certified Internal Decorators International, they offer coursework and certification to help decorators validate those practices or validate their practices. Now, what is the difference between an interior designer and an architect? Well, both interior designers and architects have specific skills that they use to develop special, or they develop design plans that are special. And the reason why I say they're special because they're client-based. However, they perform markedly different design functions. Now, an interior designer uses their artistic abilities to reconfigure and decorate interior spaces and work with their clients. Usually their clients are homeowners, business owners, etc., to create something aesthetically pleasing and functional or functional. Whether designing a home or business, an interior designer, again, wants to be able to tap into a client's needs and wants. Heard that before in this commentary, so you're going to hear a lot of repetition. Now, spaces, again, can range from indoor and outdoor home environments to restaurants, gyms, dental offices, hotels, and spas. No matter the size and shape, every interior designer works with the end goal of creating a space that is attractive, practical, and safe. Now, again, an interior designer basically will meet with a potential client to discuss the scope of the project and prepare a design proposal. The design proposal needs to fit the budget and needs of the client. More often than not, modifications need to be made along the way in order to keep to budget. Now, the interior designer will also secure any materials that are needed for the project. Designers often work closely with architects and contractors to help attain the ambience and the look the client is after while still adhering to code and regulatory requirements. Again, education. Most design firms require designers to hold at least an undergraduate degree accredited by the CIDA. That's the Center, or used to be the Center. It's now the Council for Interior Design Accreditation. Those that earn an Associate's of Applied Science can generally enter the field as an assistant role. An Associate of Arts degree prepares students to continue their interior design education and is often pursued by students who intend to pursue education in architecture or industrial design. Now, an architect, which I'm going to do my video on architecture, that's coming up as well. An architect is specifically trained and licensed to work on the planning and design of buildings. Now, these buildings can be anything where people live, eat, work, and play, from something as small as an addition to someone's home to a new hotel on the Las Vegas Strip. Now, the role of an architect is to bring together the creative ideas and visions of their client and to keep in mind the needs of those that will be using the new space. Architects often work closely with interior designers to help attain the ambience and look that the client is after while adhering to code and regulatory requirements. See, an architect's role involves a great deal of technical knowledge and responsibility. There is need to comply with building and safety regulations, local planning regulations, and restrictions. Now, depending on the project, there may be laws surrounding the preservation of the local environment or any historic parts of a building. Now, once the project reaches the construction stage, the architect will be involved in site visits and meetings, overseeing the construction and signing off on various pieces of work, negotiating with contractors, and dealing with and resolving any problems that may arise. Now, education. Architects need to complete a bachelor's degree program. It's known as the B.Arch. Not the Bachelor of Architecture, Bachelor of Science. The B.Arch is the Bachelor of Architecture that is accredited by the NAAB, the National Architectural Accrediting Board. Now, Master of Architecture, M.Arch, is open to all applicants who have earned a B.Arch degree and want to specialize in historic preservation, design theory, solar design, or other related fields. So, to sum everything up, when we talk about interior design, interior designer is one that's basically someone who works for the client to create aestheticness when it comes to spaces. And what they do, they create indoor spaces, outdoor spaces when it comes to the client's needs for aesthetics, safety, and function. Can they use furniture placement, decorations? They specialize in corporate design, healthcare design, kitchen and bath design, universal design, and sustainable design. And their responsibilities start with advertising for new projects and ensuring, basically, that the client is satisfied after the project is completed. And that concludes this information series on the Mind of STEM channel. I talked about interior design. Again, if you want to get into interior design, check out your local community colleges. I live in Indiana, so your local community college would be Ivy Tech. You can get an AS degree, you can get an AAS degree, but you need to get licensed, because if you want to build your own enterprise, clients want individuals that are licensed. Credentials make a big difference. And again, if you want to see me make more videos here on this channel, The Mind of STEM, please like, share, and subscribe to this channel. What I do on this channel is give you a daily dose of science, technology, engineering, and math. You can also find me on Facebook and Twitter. I will post all these videos on my social media sites. You can also leave a comment in the comment section. And if you want more of the controversial views or controversial issues, subscribe to my Mind of STEM channel. That's the 401 Talk Zone radio show. And check out my radio show every weekend. But other than that, thank you for viewing this video. Once again, my name is Leon Jones. This is the Mind of STEM channel, where I give you a daily dose of science, technology, engineering, and math. I want you to have a wonderful and blessed night. I'm signing off at this time. I want to say God bless you and have happy holidays.